Thanks for coming. It's great to see people sitting in chairs listening to poetry on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, this is for festivals past. Wellies, sunglasses, cryptic teas, cut-off denims and muddy knees, toy store tents or posh teepees, Portaloo or pea in the trees, vegan sandwich or bloody sausage, tea and cakes down at the cottage, pints of cider or slabs of lager, wines of whiskey with some water, cunningly concealed within a bottle of Ballygowan. Friday night's the best for me before the queue starts for Joe Lee's. The music's there, the vibe is good. We're laughing about last year's mud and this year's mud. Fast forward 24 hours on, the place is seething. The tent is thronged. The beery cheer greets each song as the hardest working band ploughs on. Guitars and bass gather around the drummer as backs to the crowd they speed to the summit. Power, punk and poetry. It's time to rhyme, and you can quote me. Thanks.
Hi guys, my name is Cormac. No stranger to Castlepalooza, no stranger to somebody here. I've been writing poetry since I was in Bangor school, so it's great that there's a format now for doing a bit of poetry here. So, the first piece I want to do is actually a bit about myself and Maura. We moved out to a little farmhouse out in Durham a couple of years ago, and making the world self-sufficient was. Got some plants in the greenhouse and got some poetry. So, not poetry, poetry. Poetry, did I say poetry? So, they provide us the ducks and then provide us with eggs every morning, the occasional Sunday dinner as well. But you kind of do build up a little relationship with them, and it's not long before they become duck buddies and hens with benefits. So, late at night I get the call, awakened, tense with lust. My duck buddy just called to say some sly fox tried to pick her up. I rush out with the shotgun, pellets pelt the midnight air. I scoop my duck buddy into my arms and stroke her ruffle quite for theirs. She quacks, contentedly confirming what I've known always to be sound, that who needs hens with benefits when your duck buddy's in town? In a world that's mired in casual pets and industry chick exploitation, the only yolks I ate last night could have hatched with incubation. Thank you.
Us youth, the ranks of alcoholics, will be tomorrow's age, will enjoy recreational narcotics. If today's youth, tomorrow's age will be, what kind of world will we live to see? Grannies dislocating hips, dancing to trance music on the cruise ships. If we're down and dirty with the crew, oh, what would them will we do? Oh, no future can I see it all, back to the monkey doing the ball. But if that's regrets we do, we'll enjoy the fun of life too. And maybe our grandchildren will rebel, by reaching to us of repentance and hell. And we'll shake our grey heads and hold out in the hope, then work with the youth to the down with slow.
Nice to see so many friendly faces in the audience, and thanks for everyone for coming. This poem is called Irish Soldier Minding Cash Van. Standing to attention, eyes looking around, ears pricked up, listening for sound. At any stage getting ready to run, not trusted with bullets for your gun. Nation is satisfied and the uniform shows. We don't want you to blow off all your toes. I suppose it's cool, you look fairly hard, beats the fuck out of being a guard. But rumours are flying, maybe you've heard, when you're on tour, other guys are shagging your bird. Though if it really lifts off, you can kick back and snore. You signed up for neutrality, not the possibility of war. Thank you.
I absolutely hate having to try and follow mine. This one's going to be a bit serious now. It's called Freedom Seen, and it's a poem about how we're all responsible, not just for our own freedom, but we should try and take responsibility for other people as well, as in looking out for each other and taking care of people who are in a worse position than we are. So it's called Freedom Seen. There are 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil to one who is striking at the root. Henry Thoreau, he knew this well. At that root too is where my stand must be, my each strike aimed. For injustice must succumb to truth, My reach must stretch for freedom's bell. Attack that root, then sow new seed. See evil fall, that love may breed. Freedom for all must be decreed. Those close to hand or known by heart, no barriers can play a part. Freedom for all must be decreed. Evil must fall, that love may breed. Attack in truth, then sow new seed. George Washington once said, "Liberty, when it begins to take root, is a plant of rapid growth. This plant, this seed, we must all sow, and tend it through the harshest winds and through the hardest rains. We must swear this as our solemn oath, spread freedom's seed wherever we go. Plant that first seed, then tend with care, your garden first, then everywhere. With all souls and all nations share. Eyes open wide if sentry be, brave guardian of liberty. With all souls and all nations share, your garden first, then everywhere. Plant that first seed and tend with care." Liberty means responsibility, said G.B. Shaw, and then, that is why most men dread it. Shaw captured well that ancient fact. But our liberty is the responsibility that must command our entire spirit in every word and every act. Freedom entwines my life with thine, between our hearts no dividing line. I'll guard your fate coupled with mine. Liberty's charge I do accept, my word will see my promise kept. I'll guard your fate coupled with mine, between our hearts no dividing line. Freedom entwines my life with thine. An artist must fight for freedom or stand for slavery. I have made my choice, chosen my side. It's at Paul Robeson's shoulder. I too have no alternative, not to my own conscience. Its strength of belief I will not hide, nor for any reason temper. My own freedom wears no glory, while my soul feels still the story of shackles worn by so many. I cannot celebrate my fate, tell my heart not to contemplate the shackles worn by that many, while my soul knows of their story. My own freedom wears no glory. Freedom for all must be decreed, and all true planters of freedom's seed. Thank you.
My name is Lewis Ford, and firstly I thank you all for attending here. It's great to see a crowd to listen to our poetry. And as I suffered from Parkinson's for the last 14 years, so this tends a little, I discovered poetry in the last 3 years, so this tends a little bit about poetry and about Parkinson's. My illness has brought about many changes to the way I get on with my life. Carpenter out in fresh air, roofing houses. Today I take out my laptop to write. The last few years I've discovered poetry and I put together a few songs. And if it was not for the gift of a laptop, be lost, use of a pen for me is gone. Parkinson's eats the life out of my body. Everyday tasks impossible at times. Then given a key to a locked door, and inside is where I found rhyme. Previously couldn't put two words together. Now writing takes a lot of my time. Today I would be lost without it. Open your doors, helps peace of mind. I realise there's no cure for Parkinson's. Diagnosed is like being stabbed with a knife. Still no point in feeling sorry for myself, but it's increased pressure on family life. Small things to me make a difference. I enjoy singing a song in a pub. What gave me a boost, no longer alone, was discovery of Tullamore Rhymers Club. And since I became a member of Rhymers, more folk have heard my poetry, and looking like this will continue, because we're invited to venues all over the country. Thank you very much.
Right, folks, my name is Ken Hume. What every other guy said, and thank you very much for coming out. It's really cool to see people come out to listen to poetry, because we have a tradition of it in this country. So, the poem I'm going to read out is called Warm Pews, Cold Hearts. My own experiences of organised religion and worship, and see what you think of it. Warm pews, cold hearts, worn and bruised, the service starts. A preacher's views, not so smart. Sing all they lose, and then depart. Guitar strum, no melody. Beat that drum, it's a felony. Sing as one, no harmony. Come undone, no tell me. Eternal bliss, forsake the path. Destructiveness, escape his wrath. Don't do this, don't do that. or the snake I'd hiss and you'd get fat. Trust in Christ, get redemption, give up the vice or no ascension. Just be nice, I forgot to mention. 3 blind mice and more direction. Sit down in your seat, get up and sing. Take out your wallet, it's time to bring your weekly gift, my guilty offering, for all I haven't done to weight out my sin. Thank you.
Right, this is a poem, or well, a rhyme I wrote about protests and votes. My faith in the vote has been eroded over the last few years. Anyway, it's called Red Dress. The red dress in the park on a summer afternoon. She's there for a break from the city gloom. An acre of trees, shade and blooms, a pea-sized lung amid all the fumes. But this tale has a sting that's predictably mean, a horror of cops dressed like bug-eyed fiends, spit venom and tear gas and threats so obscene that the girl with the curl thinks, this must be a dream. After all, this is my city. This is my home. It's up there with Athens or Paris or Rome. But some guy with a suit and a policeman's jackboot thinks he can bulldoze, rip out and uproot all that is green and calm and serene for the sake of a mall and a sack full of loot. So I protest, I protest, I clear my throat to raise my voice and loudly hope that change can come and not just through votes. Thanks, folks.
I recently became a father there in last October, and it really is true, you know. I want to say something does change inside you if you're there for the birth, and you see the whole thing, and you see the blood. It's like a scene from like Saving Private Ryan, and you know, next thing just a tiny thing in your hands, and you know, it's just incredible. And this is called Something Has Changed. So hearing your cry for that first time, above all the screaming miracles in Mullingar. Your voice, your little voice so clear, I could have been standing alone with you in a silent meadow. Oblivious to the cacophony, oblivious to the midwives, to the African doctor, and the dawn breaks through and it's only your voice. Something has changed. I want to weep and hug my father in this instant and tell him, thanks Dad, and I'm sorry Dad, that I couldn't understand and I never could until just now, when I heard your little voice. Something has changed. In the dawn's light, my exhausted partner, I hold her hand and I tell her how beautiful she is, how perfect you are. We hear your little voice, and something has changed.
Okay, this is a short one. I'm not much in philosophy as such, but there's an old Persian philosopher called Rumi, and I see a lot of his quotes going around Facebook, and a lot of them come very insightful. And this poem is based on one of his quotes that said that you're not going to drop in the ocean, you are the ocean will drop. So I thought this poem were the ocean. We are but cogs in the great wheel of life. Keep your place quiet, do not be bold. Everyone has a rank in the chaos of life. Keep to yours, be obedient, we are told. But life, it is not a machine. Mankind, we are not cogs. And to think that we are, and that it is we must stop. We are not, as Rumi said, a drop in the ocean, but rather the entire ocean, each man is a drop.
This poem is about taking too many ecstasy tablets. It's called Coming Up on Two Yolks. Nervous palpitations, chemicals on the way. The tunes in the club are starting to sway. The place is full of heads and solid party folks. You rush to the jacks and puke up your yolks. Kneeling in the piss, fingers in the bowl. Bold Mitsubishis, financed by the dole. Quick wallet fumble, confirming that you're broke. Back to the gaff, time for a smoke.
Okay guys, this next one is called I Think It Was Spring. It was actually inspired by the late Jerry Ryan. In one of the last interviews he did before his death, interview with Ryan Tuberley, I think it was, and he was speaking about the moment that he met Maura, his wife, and he used the line, I think it was spring. It just struck me that in that one moment when he fell in love, he wasn't even sure of the big things in life, like what day it was or what month it was, stuff that you would kind of take for granted that somebody should know. So it's called I Think It Was Spring. Well, I think it was spring, but I don't quite recall, for my first sight of her was when she became all. And I knew it right there, she'd soon change everything. Of that much I was sure. And I think it was spring. And I think she wore red, but it might have been green. I remember her eyes, bluest I'd ever seen. And I swear in their light I knew we'd one day wed. Saw all our tomorrows. And I think she wore red. And I think it was rain, like a mist on my skin. Something so soft and warm that worked its way within. And it came back each time ever I'd hear her name. And it still does today. And I think there was rain. That's it, thank you.
First poem I wrote or read was probably a little bit heavy, so I'll try to lighten it up with this one. It's called Getting Old. Now I can see that I'm getting old. My description I'll not try to disguise. Be honest, I won't exaggerate, tell it as it is. Truth may hurt, but no point in telling any lies. Once had hair, now bald as an egg, and this is what the wife said, and it's true. No hair, says the feet of the barber, and in the supermarket let's pay for shampoo. I told a good wife my eyesight was failing, and here is the reason I know. I complained I could not see the screen on the telly, but she answered she were watching the radio. My nose was in many a battle down the years. It has all the trademarks of wear and tear. Granted, it's not a pretty sight in my face, but still a working order taken in and out air. To talk about my ears, they're a disaster. Nothing in or out through them passes, but my doctor advised against removing them. I would be lost, be nothing to hold on my glasses. Big part of me all agrees that's my mouth. Now I have to be careful when I speak. I can't even yawn in peace anymore. On the floor lands my false teeth. Now this is the story of my face. Just wait until I tell about these. Resemble the wheel of a bike run over by a train. There's so many buckles on my knees. And off I went to the local doctor. When I was leaving, wasn't very happy. I haven't been feeling so well since he said, only pay 3 months on your next NCT.
My next piece is a Desire within Butterflies. It's that time of the end of the night when you've had a little bit too much to drink and you're chatting up a girl, and this is what I wrote based on one particular experience. I fade into my drunken senses. Another line soaks and condenses. In the bottle, I'm defenseless. Heartbreak falls through my lenses. I look into my cracked phone, see a picture of flesh and bone, vulnerability and a life unknown. Wake up before my chance is flown. I look into those inviting eyes, and I see it all, promises and advice, uncertainty and compromise, beauty, desire, and butterflies. I look into my battered heart, I see it beating, stop and start. I want to stay, I should depart. Aye, that would be very smart. But I look up and see her sway to the music, so I think I'll stay. Curiosity of a child, I'll play. The game, though, I could pay. So I look into those inviting eyes, I see it all, promises and lies, uncertainty and compromise, beauty, desire, and butterflies. When I look up, everybody's gone, except her and the jukebox on. Move in to kiss and forget the song. It could be bliss or it could bomb. I look out into the dark inside, wondering how, wondering why. We got to this stage, I smile awry. Smile and brave the cold night sky. When I look into those inviting eyes, I see it all, promises and lies, uncertainty and compromise, beauty, desire, and butterflies. I see it all, darling, I feel it too, yet here I stand, looking at you, completely sold, frozen through, the cold and fear of what to do. I look at you and as we move closer on the couch, maintain composure. We talk movies, your disclosure. That you like me bowls me over. I look up briefly because my mind is somewhere else I can't find the courage to, so I've resigned myself to wishing I could rewind back and look into those inviting eyes to see it all, promises and lies, uncertainty and compromise, beauty, desire, and butterflies. Thank you.
This piece is about aging disgracefully, and it's about the pretense that modern society can actually put off aging and death. So it's called Endless Life. I stand a god at 40 odd before the bathroom mirror. My body's changed, been rearranged. I'm not getting any thinner. I'm lighter here, heavier there. My flesh has become a map. Trace the lines, the physical signs of a tree losing its sap. But here's the thing, oh wizened king, you're only halfway through your allotted life expectancy. You've still got years to go before they wrap you up in cloth and commit you to some hole, or douse you in holy paraffin and burn out your heathen soul. For a heathen, I believe I shall remain beyond the day that flesh corrupts and boils erupt as I submit to moist decay. I came from what we yet know not nor ever may discover, though medical science and corporate giants for sure would claim that honour. That death and life are twin, the last we can no longer stomach, an absolute and simple truth, lost in the unseemly rummage for wealth and teeth and cleavage, kids born of spotless wives, all you can eat plus a mortgage, and a cure for endless life. Thanks very much.
So anyone who knows me knows that I'm very much, I like to get involved in politics. I always have about 3 opinions on the go. But a few years ago I just gave it up, it was just too negative, and all this recession bullshit was just, when you're picking up your dole in an Audi A6, you're saying, yeah, things aren't too bad, worst things happen at sea. But then, one night a week on a Wednesday we used to play music in Jolie's pub. I don't know if you know Jolie's, is a great music pub in Tullamore, and they had one of the most awesome sessions. It's been going on for 3 or 4 years, and then it was cancelled. So I wasn't happy about it at all. And so this is my little event about cancelling my one night of music. So Jolie's session is cancelled. I guess austerity is working. We failed to see that monster that was in the shadow there. So we've been blinded by the bureaucrats who lead us from the rear, and we've been ridden by the bureaucrats, and we've been peddled shabby gear. We're regaled with stats and numbers, inflation, gold, internal marks, and the billions of bankers that we're closing down our parks. And our kids will have to stay inside and stare into a box. It's a prison for their mind. It doesn't even need a lock. And we bought and sold each other, and we rode and scammed ourselves. Now last week's would the millionaires were stacking alley shelves. And just where did it all go wrong? We plead, gnash and wail, and look for answers from the experts who caused the system to fail. The economic scam has happened. Now it's happened yet again, but we refuse to change direction or to redirect our zen. We hear the empty promises and we cheer them on Yahoo! Like these fucking politicians have got a fucking clue. One day they have their wellies on, the next they're in a suit. Private jets to Brussels, Paddy's Day perks in Beirut. Half-price flights around the globe, free bar and start half price. They really think they read those treaties with their headaches pouring advice. And yet again, we show the world that our balls they haven't dropped, how easily we're bullied by the haves and the have-yots. And our mediocre backbone will keep us broken bent, and our kids will have to struggle through 50 years of length. So, one way or another, when these bastards have us screwed, they pollute the air we breathe and fondle those that make our food. They're locking up old ladies who stand before their trees, and the Saudis own the Shannon, the forests, the Chinese. The Norwegians own our gas and oil, the Dutch will help them take it. Belmullen now has earthquakes, that's the emperor is naked. We bleat and bow, obey and do, and bleat and bass and more. So my mandolin that ne'er had sinned, tonight never made it out the door. Now, these bastards took our water trees, our sugar bogs, our gas, our sugar bogs and fishes, and now they've taken Wednesday. Those lousy sons of bitches.
Okay, mine's a bit more on a more serious note, but it does play out in the whole capitalism debate and about the European Union and all that kind of thing. My family's originally From fields we came where blood often was shed, of men from France, lands of far field, and England too, they the sword and bloodshed knew, for they who their position were feud would easily yield. From cold earth stony, soft earth, rush ridden, our people a stroke a living for to make, not to be rich from bounty of the land, merely to survive for its own sake. Rebellions came and went, World Wars II, civil wars, all cause bitterness and pain. Death visited each act of this savage play. All men lost, only for a while then again. The one constant was hungry mouths and fed. Worried year's harvest enough would it bring. America, Scotland, escape all is beckoned. Lands remain for the God, for the everything. Some men within their time pure returned, to till lands their forefathers with horses ploughed. Some men chased riches, they are running still. A race, the more you race, the more you're allowed. More soft solace in the hurrying arms to drink, that lady to all who will comfort give. For kisses as false as his parliament is tonight, man must face the new day sober, and each must live. The land, she is a cruel mistress of promises. The little she gives, it is but a token. Its falls really enough to make man carry on, hoping her bigger promise will not be broken. But it always is, life is a struggle, should man choose to equal living from the land. For man to break the earth with plough, is the universal truth first must understand. But men are born through this life, born through this game, an angry gamble with nature we often lose, never to win rare draw.